Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're all having a great and wonderful day. Sorry I didn't be able to make videos yesterday. Life came up, wasn't able to do so. But nonetheless, we're going to be talking about some of the things that the media is going to be crying about or complaining about. I'll probably do a little bit more of that, but I would also like to get back more into the actual video game news because that's a bit more fun than stupid politics. But since we're so close to the election, it's like you're going to have to be forced to just, go, right? You're gonna have to be just forced to to cover it until the end. So that's what I'm gonna do here, and a few other stuff as you will. So what we have here is this: that Trump flirts with the ultimate tax cut, no income taxes at all. And the New York Times thinks this is a hit piece, which I'm not quite sure why they would think that. But they said the former president has repeatedly praised a period in American history when there was no income tax, and the country relied on tariffs to fund the government. Which, honestly, I would not have a problem with it. I always say that income taxes is just complete theft. You could do a sales tax or other taxes that you can do. And the only problem is you would probably have sales taxes go through the roof because, the government needs to steal people's money in order to operate for some kind of apparent reason. The thing is, less government, it means a better thing for everyone. Because maybe this might just allow the government to, maybe be better on savings. Maybe they won't have to raise inflation. Maybe they could just be a better thing for the people, which is being less of it. Since former President Donald Trump has spent much of the presidential campaign brainstorming new and sometimes untested ways to cut taxes. Which is funny because, some of the ways that he cut taxes is that most people haven't really done because they just don't care for the American people. In the election's final stretch, he raised the possibility of going even further, eliminating income taxes entirely, which would be amazing. Imagine not having to pay 13% or whatever amount of income tax in your state, would be California, because that means guys that do have insane income taxes, the government is stealing from you and all that. Maybe it would that would probably incentivize more money into your bank account. That means, guys, that $20 or $30 perhaps of what you're spending on, or $5 or $6 that you're going on, whatever you say, or the hundreds of dollars that you probably have for income tax after your check goes directly into your bank. Yeah, that's right. That means, how about that, guys? $100 or so plus dollars that takes from your income bracket, or whatever you want to say, is taken from you, is going directly into your bank account. So that means that you can buy more things, be able to save more, be able to live easier, be able to probably buy that new car you wanted, or maybe that wife that you haven't taken out for dinner, for a very, very nice dinner. Or you can go take her out because, you don't have that income tax really hurting you. And then add more, you would also have that overtime. Well, guess what? If you're working overtime, really struggling, really trying to get it out there, and all of a sudden you just have that overtime tax gone. You got more money in your pocket. You need tips and you're also working overtime? Well, guess what, guys? That overtime and that overtime tax removed, and no tax on tips is also removed. Guess that's more money in the bank. Let's add one more thing, too. No income tax. That means pretty much like almost 50% of your income, possibly more, is going into your bank account, which means you have more money to live, more money to survive, more money to play with, which means you have more ways to boom the economy because you have more money to work with. So, this is the reason why voting for Trump means you're just gonna go poor, because that means you're pretty much saying, I don't like my money, I like my money being taken from the government. That's pretty much what you're saying here, because this is anything but you being poor, right? So, during the Fox News segment on Monday, Mr. Trump took questions at a barbershop in the Bronx when asked if the United States could potentially end all federal taxation. Mr. Trump said the country could return to the economic policies in the late 19th century when there was no federal income tax. It all had tariffs. It didn't have income tax, Trump said. Now we have income taxes, and we have people that are dying. They are paying tax and they don't have enough money to pay the tax. In June, Mr. Trump floated the idea of replacing federal revenue from income taxes with money received from tariffs. Mr. Trump has not provided specific details of how that would work, and it's unclear if he wants to eliminate all federal taxes, including corporate income taxes and payroll taxes, or only end the individual income tax. Either way, both liberal and conservative experts have dismissed his idea as mathematically impossible and economically destructive. It won't be. Because how can you be economically destructive? Here's the thing that you guys have to understand here, guys. You know how they say impossible or economically destructive? Now, whether Trump can get this through the actual Congress or the government or whatever is up in the air. I mean, he would definitely have to win the House and the Senate to even remotely try to get this passed. But the point being here is, how is it economically destructive? Because, put it this way, guys. It's only economically destructive for the government. Now, things may increase in price here, but the point being is you have more money to work with, right? You have more money to actually burn. So it doesn't make sense. So say, for instance, something costs about $1,000, right? And your paycheck comes up to, I don't know, about $1,500. Now you have to add all those taxes on top of that, right? Or what have you. Well, guess what? You have the taxes are going to take about maybe $50, $100, maybe give or take, whatever state you're in. And then you have, that's probably the income tax or whatever. And then you have the other taxes. And then maybe you're down to maybe $1,200 or maybe $1,100 or what have you amount of dollars. And then you have to pay the $1,000. Well, now you're down $100. Well, guess what? When you don't have any of those taxes in play and you have to pay the $1,000, well, guess what? That $1,500 there, you have you pay the $1,000, you have $500 left, and that means you have more $500 to spend money on other things, pay any other sort of bills, or you may or may not have, or you just go buy something, whatever, right? Granted, it's like $500 is not a lot, but you're trying, you get what I'm saying, right? You would have more money to burn, more money to spend in that regard, because those taxes are not hurting you. So if you're going to have more money because you're not getting taxed to all hell, that means you could be like, I have more money to buy this game, I have more money to buy this car, or I have more money to buy this, this, and this. This doesn't hurt the economy, it helps the economy because you're spending more, which is boosting the economy, the economy is doing good. If people are buying more things, that usually means the economy is doing well because people have more money to spend. If people are not buying things, that means people have less money to spend, and the economy is not doing well. This is just simple, basic stuff here, and they're saying like, it's going to hurt the economy. It can't hurt the economy if people have more money to spend. Like, that means more people can survive in California because they're not paying an insane amount of income tax on the place. And it's like, what about your states? The states need to function. The states can use just sales tax or whatever type of tax in order to help people, in order to pay for stuff. The point being is, it requires the government to be more careful on its actual spending. You can't just be spending billions and billions of dollars to other countries that does not belong to us or care about us at all. And we can survive off the money of the tariffs and all that stuff, so that's completely fine. Which would also mean you would have more people want to put more manufacturing, more jobs in the States, which means more people will have more American jobs, and more Americans will be in those jobs, which means more people will get more money in America, which will stimulate more. It's just a whole net positive here. There is no negative. Now, you might have a rough beginning in the very first while? Sure, you might. But I think it's a great thing in the long run because, again, everybody will profit from it. You might have maybe a rough couple of years, but in the long run, it helps. It really does help. You got to build those manufacturing jobs, have to figure out those things, but nonetheless, it will make America stronger. It will make Americans wealthier. It will make people live better lives. So, yeah, it would be difficult, but it would need to be done. And the fact of the matter is they're saying like, it would hurt the economy. No, it wouldn't. It would actually help. Now, maybe at the beginning it might hurt, but it doesn't matter because you're going for the long goal here instead of the short goal. because people are going to have that very feel-good first rough patch, but at the end, it's like, well, I've been making more money. But I think what Trump needs to do, honestly, is that he would have to probably do that in his second year of a term, so that way people can have, or second or third year term, so that way people can have the ability to feel the impact of the boom of the actual of his policies that would take place, and then maybe on the second or third year, people would have that income, and then it would hit them maybe in the last final year. But by that time, you have jobs and other things coming up. I think this is great. I think it needs to be planned differently because maybe it would have an impact on people. But nonetheless, I think it's a good idea. I think no income tax is amazing. It would be amazing. People would become way more wealthier than imaginable. All right, guys, that's it for the video. Let's guys share. As always, take care, my friends.
I'm disgusted by what I see in public. Even people closest to us can't be trusted. Cause it's algorithmic disease, the social media.